Super simple metabolic confusion diet cookbook for endomorph women over 50. Your 60-day step-by-step plan to burn stubborn fat, balance hormones, and boost confidence with easy 5-ingredient recipes. By Emma Brooks. Introduction. Your journey starts here. Have you ever felt like your body suddenly changed the rules of the game without telling you? That strategies that kept the weight in check and energy levels high in your 30s and 40s seem to be practically useless now? You're certainly not alone. That stubborn belly fat that appeared almost overnight after the menopause, the afternoon energy crashes that weren't there before, the scale that barely budges despite your best efforts. So many women over 50 share these exact frustrations. I understand this deeply. Really, I do. It's disheartening to stand in front of your closet, passing over clothes that once fit perfectly. The disappointment stings when you've diligently followed a nutrition plan only to see minimal results. And the confusion mounts when faced with mountains of conflicting advice, most written for women half our age, with completely different hormonal landscapes. This journey isn't just about fitting into smaller clothes, is it? It's about moving through this important stage of life, feeling strong, capable, and energetic. It's about maintaining independence, protecting long-term health, and yes, feeling comfortable in the skin that carries you through each day. What you're experiencing isn't due to lacking willpower or discipline. Think of it as a natural biological shift, like seasons changing in a garden. Your body has undergone profound hormonal changes that directly affect how you store fat, process carbohydrates, and maintain muscle. The decline in estrogen has essentially redrawn your body's map, redirecting fat storage to your midsection instead of your hips and thighs. Your metabolism has naturally shifted too. Instead of fighting against these changes, an exhausting and usually fruitless battle, this book offers a realistic approach designed specifically for women in their 50s and beyond. This is particularly helpful if you have an endomorph body type that naturally tends to hold on to weight easier. The metabolic confusion approach works with your changing hormones rather than against them, helping you finally break through those frustrating plateaus that have left you feeling stuck. You won't find extreme restrictions or complicated counting systems here. Instead, you'll discover satisfying recipes using just 5 simple ingredients that you can prepare in under 30 minutes, perfect for your real life. These meals provide the specific nutrients women over 50 need for bone health, muscle preservation, hormonal balance, and sustainable energy. But this is more than just a cookbook. Think of it as your comprehensive guide to implementing metabolic confusion, a gentle yet effective strategy that prevents your body from adapting to a single calorie level, which is what causes those frustrating plateaus in the first place. You'll learn how to alternate between slightly higher and lower calorie days to keep your metabolism responsive and your fat-burning systems engaged. I believe in your ability to transform not just your body, but your entire relationship with food and self-care. This next chapter of your life deserves to be lived with energy, confidence, and joy. Shall we begin this journey together? Warmly, Emma Brooks. Getting the most from this book. How do you prefer to approach a new book? Do you dive straight into the parts that interest you the most? Or do you start from the beginning and work your way through? The wonderful thing about this guide is that it's designed to work either way, meeting you exactly where you are on your wellness journey. If you're primarily interested in finding healthy, delicious meals that will boost your energy and support your overall wellness, feel free to turn directly to the recipe chapters. You'll find that each recipe is refreshingly simple yet satisfying, using easy-to-find ingredients with straightforward preparation methods. Many women find that just making these nutritional changes brings noticeable improvements in their energy levels and well-being. On the other hand, if you're specifically looking for meaningful fat loss, improved body composition, and better hormonal balance, I strongly encourage you to begin with the informational chapters first. Understanding the why behind metabolic confusion and what makes it work so effectively for women our age will dramatically enhance your results and motivation. After all, we tend to stick with approaches when we understand the reasoning behind them. Chapter 1 explains exactly how and why our bodies change after 50 and why so many traditional diets fail women in our age group. It's like getting a map of the new terrain your body has entered. Chapter 2 walks you through the nutritional foundations that make this approach so effective. Think of it as learning which fuel your body now prefers. And Chapter 11 provides ready-to-use meal plans along with a step-by-step approach to creating your own 60-day transformation plan. There's one important principle I want to clarify from the beginning. While metabolic confusion can significantly improve hormonal balance and insulin sensitivity, both crucial after 50, sustainable fat loss still requires maintaining a modest calorie deficit. The magic of this approach is that it creates this deficit in a gentle, fluctuating way that prevents your metabolism from slowing down, which is exactly why it succeeds where other methods have left you frustrated. What many women appreciate most about this approach is that it's designed to fit into your actual life, not to force you to reshape everything around a rigid diet. We've all tried approaches that required us to abandon social events or family traditions, only to eventually give up the plan entirely. The most effective nutritional strategy isn't the most extreme one. It's the one you can actually maintain long term. I'm truly honoured to be your guide on this journey toward better health, increased energy, and a body that finally feels like home again. Together, we'll discover how to work with your changing body rather than against it. Chapter 1 Understanding Your Endomorph Body After 50. Have you ever found yourself wondering why weight loss feels so much harder now than in your 30s or 40s? Why do those tried and true strategies that once worked like magic suddenly seem ineffective? Or perhaps you've noticed certain areas, especially around your middle, stubbornly resisting your best efforts? If you're nodding along, I want you to know something important. What you're experiencing is real. It has biological causes, and it absolutely doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong or lacking willpower. Understanding what's happening is the first step toward creating lasting change. Understanding the endomorph body. Do the words naturally curvy feel like they were written specifically about you? Have you noticed you gain weight relatively easily but find it frustratingly difficult to lose? If so, you likely have an endomorph body type. Nature creates women's bodies in beautiful varieties, and the endomorph type brings with it both unique challenges and natural advantages. What makes you an endomorph, including natural metabolic tendencies? Think of your endomorph body as having an exceptionally efficient energy-saving system. You tend to have a naturally curvier silhouette with a wider bone structure, a body that prefers storing rather than burning fat, and a metabolism that's remarkably fuel efficient. It's like having a car with an excellent fuel conservation system, a quality that would have been tremendously valuable throughout human history when food was scarce and unpredictable. Today, though, it can feel like a mixed blessing in our world of abundant food. You might recognize yourself as an endomorph if you gain weight relatively easily, especially during periods when you're not carefully monitoring your diet. Your body naturally takes on a softer, rounder appearance rather than an angular frame. You build muscle relatively easily, but it's often hidden beneath a layer of fat. Weight gain tends to settle around your middle, hips, and thighs. These characteristics aren't flaws, they're simply part of your unique body blueprint. Understanding them gives you tremendous power, because now you can work with your natural tendencies rather than exhausting yourself fighting against them. Which brings me to an important point. There are several persistent myths about endomorph bodies that may have left you feeling unnecessarily discouraged. Common misconceptions about endomorphs. Let's clear up some disheartening myths you may have encountered. Myth number 1. Endomorphs can't lose weight. This simply isn't true. While endomorphs may need a more strategic approach than other body types, countless women with endomorph bodies achieve healthy, sustainable weight loss, especially when they use methods that respect their body's natural tendencies rather than fighting against them. Myth number 2. Endomorphs must eliminate all carbohydrates. While moderating carbohydrates often benefits endomorphs, eliminating them entirely is unnecessary and typically backfires. Your body, particularly your brain, needs carbohydrates for energy and optimal function. The key lies in selecting the right types, amounts and timing, rather than extreme restriction. Myth number 3. You're destined to be overweight because of your genetics. While genetic factors certainly influence your basic body shape and metabolic tendencies, they don't dictate your destiny. The right approach works with your genetics rather than against them, helping you achieve the healthiest, most vibrant version of your natural body type. The age 50 transformation. Does it feel like your body suddenly changed around menopause? You're not imagining it. Many women describe this transition as though someone flipped a switch overnight, dramatically altering how their bodies store fat, process food, and maintain energy. Let's explore what's really happening during this significant life transition. Physical changes, metabolism, muscle mass, and fat distribution. Have you noticed changes in your body even when your habits remain the same? While our understanding of metabolism continues to evolve, several factors converge around midlife that significantly impact weight management and energy levels. Our activity patterns often shift subtly. Perhaps we're sitting more or moving differently. Muscle mass naturally decreases, which affects how many calories we burn even at rest. Most dramatically, hormonal changes completely reorganize where and how our bodies store fat. Women typically lose about 3 to 8% of their muscle mass per decade after 40, a process called sarcopenia. Since muscle burns significantly more calories than fat tissue, this reduction impacts your daily energy expenditure, even when you're just going about your normal activities. It's like having fewer workers on staff but expecting the same productivity. Perhaps the most visible change is the dramatic shift in fat distribution. Remember when weight tended to settle on your hips and thighs, creating that classic pear shape? After menopause, hormonal changes redirect fat storage predominantly to your abdomen, creating what many women ruefully call the menopause middle. Hormonal shifts, menopause, estrogen, insulin, and thyroid. Think of your hormones as an orchestra that's played in relatively predictable patterns for decades. Around menopause, this orchestra undergoes a significant transformation, with some instruments falling silent and others changing their tune entirely. Estrogen, which helps regulate fat storage patterns, drops dramatically. This decline affects not only where your body stores fat, redirecting it to your midsection, but also how it responds to insulin. Many women become more insulin resistant after menopause, meaning your body becomes less efficient at processing carbohydrates and more likely to store them as fat. Suddenly, foods you've enjoyed without consequence for years seem to go straight to your waistline. Thyroid function also tends to change with age, with nearly 20% of women over 60 experiencing some degree of hypothyroidism, including subclinical forms. Even subtle shifts in thyroid hormones can significantly impact your metabolism and energy levels, making weight management more challenging. Why weight loss becomes more challenging now? These physical and hormonal changes create what might feel like a perfect storm, making weight management after 50 genuinely more challenging, especially if you have an endomorph body type. The combination of muscle loss, changing fat storage patterns, and hormonal shifts that favor fat retention rather than fat burning can make weight management more difficult than in previous decades. This isn't about willpower or dedication, it's biology. Understanding these changes is your first step toward addressing them effectively. Rather than exhausting yourself fighting against these natural processes, a battle that leaves many women frustrated and discouraged, we can work with them using strategies specifically designed for your body at this stage of life. Why traditional diets? Fail women like you. Do these statements sound familiar? I'm eating less than ever, but still gaining weight. I followed that popular diet exactly as written, but after 2 weeks the scale wouldn't budge. I lost weight on that program in my 40s, but now it doesn't work at all. There's a reason why approaches that worked for you previously, or that seem to work like magic for younger women, fail to deliver results now. The metabolic adaptation problem. When you reduce calories significantly, as most traditional diets recommend, your body responds by activating powerful survival mechanisms. It's rather like a smart thermostat that automatically adjusts when conditions change. When you suddenly reduce calories, your metabolism slows down to conserve energy, particularly if you have an endomorph body type. Here's what typically happens. You start a traditional diet, cutting calories substantially. Initially, you might lose some weight, but within a few weeks, your body adapts by slowing your metabolism. Weight loss stalls despite your strict adherence. Frustrated, you reduce calories even further, which triggers even more metabolic adaptation. The cycle continues until you're eating surprisingly little but seeing minimal results. Does this pattern sound painfully familiar? Why popular diets aren't designed for your body type and age? Let's examine why some widely touted approaches often fall short for women over 50 with endomorph bodies. Keto diets. While high-fat, very low-carb approaches might produce initial results for some, they rarely account for the reduced ability to process fats that many women experience after menopause. Additionally, extremely restricting carbohydrates can further stress hormonal systems already in flux during this life stage. Intermittent fasting, though beneficial for some demographics, standard intermittent fasting can sometimes increase cortisol, stress hormone levels, problematic since many women over 50 already have elevated cortisol. This elevation can actually promote abdominal fat storage, exactly what you're trying to reduce. Most importantly, these popular approaches rarely address the specific nutritional needs of women over 50, such as increased protein requirements for muscle preservation, calcium and vitamin D for bone health, and specific nutrients that support hormonal transitions, the frustration cycle, and how to break it. Perhaps you recognize this pattern. You hear about a promising new diet. You commit wholeheartedly, following it perfectly with renewed determination. After weeks of restriction and dedicated effort, the results disappoint. Discouraged but determined, you restrict even more rigorously. Eventually, exhaustion and frustration set in. You return to regular eating, often gaining back any weight you've lost, plus a little more. Guilt and self-criticism follow until the next promising approach regenerates hope, and the cycle begins again. This isn't a failure of willpower. It's a failure of approach. The cycle continues because the strategies themselves aren't designed for your specific body type and life stage. Breaking this cycle requires a fundamentally different method that works with your natural tendencies rather than against them. Metabolic confusion, your solution. What if there was an approach specifically designed to address the unique challenges you face as an endomorph woman over 50? A strategy that works with your changing metabolism rather than triggering those frustrating adaptive responses that sabotage your efforts. That's exactly what metabolic confusion offers. What is metabolic confusion and calorie cycling? Metabolic confusion, also called calorie cycling, involves strategically varying your calorie intake rather than maintaining the same restrictive level every day. Instead of the traditional approach of cutting calories substantially and consistently, you alternate between moderate calorie days and slightly higher calorie days in specific patterns. You might follow a rhythm of 2 moderate calorie days followed by 1 higher calorie day, or perhaps 5 moderate days followed by 2 higher days. The pattern can be customized to your preferences and lifestyle. This isn't about severe restrictions punctuated by cheat days where anything goes. Both your moderate and higher days involve nutritious, satisfying meals, just in different amounts and sometimes with different macronutrient balances, the proportion of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. How it overcomes age and endomorph-related challenges. This approach directly addresses the key challenges we've discussed. It prevents the metabolic adaptation that causes plateaus by regularly providing your body with slightly higher calorie levels. This sends a signal that no emergency energy conservation mode is needed, helping maintain your metabolic rate. The flexibility works beautifully with hormonal fluctuations, allowing adjustments based on how you're feeling, particularly valuable during perimenopause when hormones can vary dramatically from day to day. The approach preserves precious muscle mass by ensuring adequate protein and nutrition even on moderate calorie days, crucial for maintaining metabolism as we age. And perhaps most importantly, for many women, it allows for a less restrictive lifestyle that includes social occasions, family meals, and an occasional treat, making it sustainable for the long term. Isn't that a refreshing change from diets that make normal life almost impossible? The science behind why this approach works. Research into various forms of calorie cycling shows promising results. Studies examining intermittent energy restriction, another term for varying calorie levels, demonstrate that this approach can help prevent the metabolic slowdown that typically accompanies weight loss. The key scientific principle at work is the prevention of adaptive thermogenesis, your body's natural tendency to reduce energy expenditure when it senses calorie restriction. By regularly including higher calorie days, you essentially reset this adaptation mechanism, keeping your metabolism more responsive. Additionally, this approach appears to support better hormone balance, particularly for insulin sensitivity, crucial for women over 50 who are more prone to insulin resistance. Think of it as periodically reassuring your body that food is plentiful, preventing it from shifting into energy conservation mode. Benefits of metabolic confusion for endomorph women over 50. When you understand the specific advantages this approach offers, you'll see why it's particularly well suited to your body type and life stage. Accelerated fat loss without starvation. Unlike traditional diets that often leave you constantly hungry and deprived, metabolic confusion allows for more satisfying food intake while still promoting fat loss. Research on nonlinear dieting approaches shows they can lead to greater fat loss compared to continuous calorie restriction. A 2014 study by Davudi and colleagues found that varying calorie intake produced better fat loss outcomes than steady restriction, even when total calories over time were similar. While this particular study focused on younger adults during a short-term period, the metabolic principles behind this approach may be even more significant for our age group, as we're more prone to adaptive metabolic responses, boosted metabolism, even while resting. The regular inclusion of higher calorie days helps maintain your metabolic rate during weight loss. The Matador study, Byrne et al. 2018, demonstrated that intermittent energy restriction led to better preservation of resting metabolic rate compared to continuous restriction. Though this study involved obese men and trials specifically in older women are still ongoing, the underlying metabolic principles provide valuable insights that apply to our situation. By potentially preventing further metabolic slowdown during weight loss, you set yourself up for better long-term results, particularly important during a life stage when maintaining metabolic health becomes increasingly challenging. Reduced insulin resistance. Varying your calorie and carbohydrate intake appears to improve insulin sensitivity, how effectively your cells respond to insulin. Research indicates that periodic changes in energy intake can help reset insulin response, improving how your body processes carbohydrates. For postmenopausal women, this benefit is especially valuable. The hormonal changes of menopause typically increase insulin resistance, which not only makes weight management more difficult, but also raises risks for diabetes and heart disease. Improving insulin sensitivity helps with both immediate weight management goals and long-term health outcomes. Improved energy and mental clarity. Many women notice significant improvements in energy levels and mental clarity when following a metabolic confusion approach. These benefits stem from more stable blood sugar levels, improved metabolic function, and potentially reduced inflammation. You might experience this as more consistent energy throughout the day, rather than the familiar mid-afternoon crashes, better focus and concentration, and a greater sense of vitality. For women over 50 who often struggle with fatigue and brain fog, these quality-of-life improvements can be just as valuable as the physical changes: less hunger and fewer cravings. One potential benefit of this approach is better management of hunger and cravings. While research in this area shows mixed results, especially for postmenopausal women specifically, many women report feeling less controlled by hunger when following a calorie cycling approach. Some early studies suggest that diet breaks may help temper the rise in hunger hormones that typically occurs during prolonged calorie restriction. Though more research is needed, particularly in women over 50, the practical experience of many women indicates that the flexibility of this approach can make it easier to manage appetite compared to continuous restriction. Long-term sustainable results. Perhaps most importantly, metabolic confusion provides a foundation for lasting results. Research on weight maintenance after various dieting approaches suggests better long-term outcomes may be possible with variable or intermittent approaches versus continuous restriction. Because this method doesn't trigger the severe metabolic adaptations that lead to rapid weight regain, and because it includes regular higher calorie periods that make it socially and psychologically sustainable, it offers something many women over 50 have been seeking: a realistic approach they can actually maintain for life. In the next chapter, we'll delve into the nutritional foundations that make this approach so effective for our bodies after 50. We'll explore which proteins, carbohydrates, and healthy fats work best for endomorph women in this stage of life, and how these nutrients support not just weight management, but also your overall well-being, energy, and hormonal balance. The journey to understanding your body continues, and the best is yet to come. Chapter 2: The Nutritional Pillars of Metabolic Confusion. Have you ever felt completely overwhelmed by all the conflicting nutrition advice out there? I know I have. One week eggs are bad, the next they're a superfood. One expert says to avoid carbs, another says they're essential. It's no wonder we're confused, especially when so much of this advice seems designed for women half our age who have completely different hormonal profiles and body compositions. Nutrition fundamentals for endomorphs, over 50. Here's the good news. You don't need a nutrition degree to succeed with metabolic confusion. Understanding just a few key principles, specifically tailored for women over 50 with endomorph tendencies, can make healthy eating remarkably simpler and infinitely more effective. Think of this chapter as your essential foundation. While Chapter 11 will give you complete ready-made meal plans you can follow directly, understanding these fundamentals offers something even more valuable: the freedom and confidence to make your own informed decisions and customize this approach to fit your unique preferences and lifestyle. It's a bit like learning to navigate versus following someone else's map. Both can get you to your destination, but when you understand the terrain yourself, you gain independence that lasts a lifetime. You'll be able to adjust based on your body's feedback and create solutions that work for your real life, not someone else's idea of what your life should be. Understanding macronutrients. Let's start with the basics, the building blocks of everything we eat. All foods are made up of 3 primary macronutrients: protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Each plays a unique and essential role in our bodies. Protein provides 4 calories per gram and serves as both the building material and repair crew for your body. It maintains and builds muscle tissue, supports immune function, and creates the hormones and enzymes that keep everything running smoothly. When your body needs repairs or new tissue, protein answers the call. Carbohydrates also provide 4 calories per gram and are your body's preferred energy source, particularly for your brain and during physical activity. Think of carbs as the premium fuel your body naturally reaches for first. Without adequate carbohydrates, many women find their energy levels and cognitive function take a noticeable dip. Fats provide 9 calories per gram, more than twice the energy of protein or carbs, and contrary to outdated beliefs, they're absolutely essential for health. Healthy fats support hormone production, especially important for us after 50, vitamin absorption, brain health, and cell structure. They're like the oil that keeps your engine running smoothly, while also providing building materials for critical body structures. For women over 50 with endomorph tendencies, understanding how to balance these macronutrients becomes particularly important. Why? Because our bodies process and respond to each one differently now than they did in our 30s and 40s. This is precisely why generic nutrition advice often falls short for our specific needs. Protein, your weight loss and muscle preservation ally. If there's one nutritional element that becomes increasingly crucial after 50, it's protein. Have you noticed that maintaining muscle seems harder with each passing year? There's a biological reason for this. As estrogen levels decline during menopause, we naturally begin losing muscle mass, anywhere from 3 to 8% per decade. This muscle loss doesn't just affect how we look, it impacts our metabolism, strength, balance, and overall functionality. Protein becomes our greatest ally in preserving this precious muscle tissue. It also helps us feel satisfied after meals, stabilizes blood sugar, preventing those energy crashes, and actually requires more energy to digest than other nutrients, giving your metabolism a natural boost. What are some excellent protein sources to include regularly? Think about lean meats, chicken breast, turkey, lean cuts of beef. Fish and seafood, salmon, tuna, shrimp, whitefish, eggs and egg whites. The whole egg contains valuable nutrients. Greek yogurt and cottage cheese, plant-based options, lentils, chickpeas, tofu, tempeh, protein powders, whey, collagen, or plant-based varieties for convenient options. For women our age, the quality of protein becomes even more important than it was in our younger years. Complete proteins containing all essential amino acids help maintain muscle more effectively. These include animal products, quinoa, and strategic combinations like beans and rice. Are you finding larger portions of meat harder to digest these days? Many women do after 50. Try distributing your protein intake throughout the day in smaller, more manageable portions instead of concentrating it all at dinner. Carbs, blood sugar management, and timing. Carbohydrates have been unfairly demonized by many popular diet plans, haven't they? The truth is, your body, especially your brain, absolutely needs carbohydrates to function optimally. However, after 50, many of us develop increased insulin resistance, meaning our bodies don't process carbohydrates as efficiently as they once did. Does this mean you should eliminate carbs? Absolutely not. The key isn't avoiding them, but choosing the right types, amounts, and timing. Think of carbohydrates as fuel. Your body needs them, but the quality and quantity matter tremendously at this stage of life. Which carbs deserve a regular place on your plate? Focus on complex carbohydrates that contain fiber and nutrients. Vegetables of all kinds, especially leafy greens, unlimited. Berries and lower sugar fruits. Sweet potatoes, squash, and other starchy vegetables. Oats, quinoa, and other whole grains. Beans and legumes, which conveniently provide protein too. For Endomorph specifically, moderating carbohydrates without extreme restriction often produces the best results. Our bodies tend to be more efficient at storing rather than burning carbohydrates, but we still need them for energy, brain function, and hormonal balance. It's about finding that sweet spot that works for your unique body. Healthy fats, essential for hormone balance. Remember when all fats were considered dietary villains? That outdated thinking is particularly problematic for women over 50. As estrogen production declines during menopause, our bodies rely even more heavily on the fat we consume to produce and regulate remaining hormones. Healthy fats are absolutely essential for supporting production of hormones that regulate everything from metabolism to mood-maintaining brain health and cognitive function. Notice brain fog when you cut fats too. Low, reducing inflammation that can contribute to weight gain and health issues. Absorbing fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. Keeping skin supple and healthy. Which fats deserve a prominent place in your eating plan? Focus on these beneficial sources: olive oil and olives, avocados, fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines, nuts and seeds, especially walnuts and flax seeds for omega-3s, eggs, particularly the yolks. Don't throw away nature's multivitamin. While limiting heavily processed and trans fats remains important, incorporating adequate healthy fats into your diet can actually help manage weight by improving hormone function and increasing satiety. Many women find that symptoms like hot flashes, mood swings, and even joint pain improve when they include appropriate amounts of healthy fats in their diet. Surprised? Most of us have been taught the opposite for decades. Key micronutrients for women over 50. Beyond macronutrients, certain vitamins and minerals become increasingly important after 50. While a varied, nutrient-dense diet provides most of what you need, knowing which micronutrients to prioritize helps you make more strategic food choices. Calcium and vitamin D. This dynamic duo becomes critically important during and after menopause when declining estrogen accelerates bone loss. Aim for 1,200 milligrams of calcium daily from sources like yogurt, cheese, canned salmon with bones, and leafy greens. for vitamin D, which is essential for calcium absorption, include fatty fish, egg yolks, and mushrooms. Living in a northern climate, many of us benefit from vitamin D supplementation, especially during winter months. B vitamins, B12, B6, and folate play crucial roles in energy production, brain function, and mood regulation, all common concerns after 50. Did you know B12 absorption often decreases with age? This makes sources like lean meats, fish, eggs, and dairy particularly important. Experiencing persistent fatigue despite eating well? Consider having your B12 levels checked. It's a common deficiency in our age group. Magnesium. This often overlooked mineral supports sleep, muscle function, mood, and blood sugar management. Dark chocolate? Yes, really. Nuts, seeds, avocados, and leafy greens are excellent sources. Many women report improved sleep and reduced muscle cramps when they optimize their magnesium intake. Potassium. Important for blood pressure regulation and muscle function, potassium becomes even more crucial after 50. Sweet potatoes, bananas, spinach, and beans are all rich sources. While supplements can help fill gaps, focusing on food sources first provides these nutrients in their most bioavailable forms, along with fiber and other beneficial compounds that work synergistically in your body. Think of whole foods as nature's perfect delivery system, mastering calorie cycling. Now that we've covered the nutritional building blocks, let's explore how to implement them within the metabolic confusion approach we introduced in Chapter 1. Understanding how to effectively alternate between higher and lower calorie days is the key to making this strategy work for your endomorph body type after 50. The science behind high and low days. Remember how a traditional diet with consistent calorie restriction typically leads to metabolic adaptation? Your body essentially thinks, we must be experiencing a famine, and adjusts by slowing down to conserve energy, making continued weight loss increasingly difficult. This adaptive response is particularly strong in endomorphs and becomes even more pronounced after 50 when hormonal changes already favor fat conservation. Calorie cycling strategically prevents this adaptation by confusing your metabolism. When you alternate between moderate calorie days and slightly higher calorie days, your body never fully adapts to a single calorie level. This approach helps maintain your metabolic rate while still creating the gentle calorie deficit needed for fat loss. Does science support this approach? Absolutely. A study published in the International Journal of Obesity found that participants who used an intermittent energy restriction approach, similar to calorie cycling, maintained more fat-free mass and had better adherence compared to those following continuous restriction. While this study wasn't specifically on women over 50, the principles apply and may be even more beneficial for our demographic. The variation in calories also helps support hormone function. Think about it. Consistently extreme calorie restriction can disrupt production of thyroid hormones, leptin, and other hormones that regulate metabolism and appetite. This is particularly concerning for women over 50 already experiencing hormonal fluctuations. Calorie cycling provides a gentler approach that respects your body's needs. Optimal cycling patterns for endomorph women. Over 50. The concept of alternating between higher and lower calorie days is straightforward, but finding the right pattern for your lifestyle is key to long-term success. Here are 3 effective approaches, each suited to different lifestyle patterns. Pattern 1, the 2-to-1 approach. Following 2 moderate calorie days with 1 higher calorie day creates a sustainable rhythm that works well for many women. This pattern is ideal if you prefer consistency during the work week, like having a regular relief valve to look forward to. Need more frequent higher calorie days to maintain energy and adherence. For example, You might follow moderate calorie days on Monday and Tuesday, then enjoy a higher calorie day on Wednesday, before returning to the cycle. Pattern 2. The weekday-weekend split. Following moderate calorie days, Monday through Friday with higher calorie days on the weekend aligns well with social patterns for many women. This approach works best if you have a predictable work schedule, typically socialize and dine out on weekends, can maintain good consistency during the week. This pattern allows you to enjoy weekend social events without feeling restricted while maintaining structure during the work week. Pattern 3. The 5-2 method. With 5 moderate days followed by 2 higher calorie days, not necessarily consecutive, this pattern offers more sustained periods of fat burning while still preventing metabolic adaptation. This approach suits women who have good dietary consistency, prefer less frequent transitions between calorie levels, find they get better momentum with more consecutive similar days. Which pattern sounds most compatible with your life? Choose the one that realistically fits your lifestyle, preferences, and social calendar. Remember, the best pattern isn't the one that looks most impressive on paper. It's the one you can maintain consistently in your real life. Macro targets for your high and low days. Let's translate these principles into specific targets for your high and low days. For endomorph women over 50, here's a framework to start with. You'll learn how to personalize these in Chapter 11. Lower calorie days, approximately 1,200 to 1,400 calories. Protein, 30 to 35%, 90 to 120 grams. Higher protein percentage helps preserve muscle and increases satiety. Carbohydrates, 30 to 35%, 90 to 120 grams. Moderate carbs provide energy while supporting fat metabolism. Fats, 30 to 35%, 40 to 50 grams. Adequate fats support hormone function. Higher calorie days, approximately 2,000 to 2,200 calories. Protein, 25 to 30%, 125 to 165 grams, still prioritizing protein for muscle support. Carbohydrates, 40 to 45%, 200 to 248 grams. Increase carbs, refuel glycogen stores and support thyroid function. Fats, 25 to 30%, 56 to 73 grams. Maintaining healthy fat intake. These targets address the unique metabolic and nutritional needs of endomorph women over 50. The higher protein percentage helps combat age-related muscle loss, while the moderate carbohydrate approach prevents the insulin resistance issues that can be problematic post-menopause. What might this look like in real life? On a lower calorie day, you might enjoy breakfast, Greek yogurt with berries and a tablespoon of ground flaxseed. Lunch, large salad with 4 to 5 ounces of chicken, plenty of vegetables and olive oil dressing. Dinner, baked salmon with roasted vegetables and a small portion of quinoa. Snack, apple slices with a tablespoon of almond butter. On a higher calorie day, breakfast, veggie omelette with avocado toast on whole grain bread. Lunch, turkey and veggie wrap with a side of fruit and yogurt. Dinner, 5 to 6 ounces of lean protein with a larger portion of sweet potato or brown rice. And vegetables, snacks, hummus with vegetables and a small handful of nuts. These meal examples work in conjunction with the complete meal plans provided in Chapter 11, but also give you the framework to create your own customized approach based on your food preferences. Signs your cycling pattern is working. How will you know if your chosen cycling pattern is effective? Watch for these positive indicators that your body is responding well. Scale-related signs. Gradual, consistent weight loss, typically 0.5 to 2 pounds per week. Less dramatic weight fluctuations between high and low days. Continued progress even after the initial weeks. Non-scale victories, often more meaningful. Clothes fitting better, particularly around your midsection, increased energy, especially in the afternoons when many of us experience energy. Dips, better sleep quality, reduced cravings, particularly for sugary or processed foods, improved mood stability, less bloating and digestive discomfort. Be patient with this process. While some women notice changes within the first week, others may take 3 to 4 weeks to see significant improvements. Your body is healing and adapting to a new metabolic approach after potentially years of diet-induced metabolic damage. I recommend tracking both your food intake and these indicators for at least the first month to identify patterns and make informed adjustments. A simple journal noting your energy levels, hunger levels, and overall well-being alongside your cycling pattern can provide valuable insights into what works best for your unique body. Common cycling mistakes to avoid. As you implement metabolic confusion, be aware of these common pitfalls that can undermine your results, making low days too low. Are you feeling constantly hungry and irritable on your lower calorie days? That's a red flag. Restricting calories too severely on your lower calorie days can trigger the very metabolic adaptation you're trying to prevent. Your lower days should feel moderate, not punishing. If you're consistently experiencing extreme hunger, irritability, or energy crashes, your low days are likely too restricted. Making high days free-for-all days. Higher calorie days are strategic, not cheat days. They should still consist of nutritious, balanced meals, just more of them. Going overboard with processed foods or excessive portions can undo the benefits of your approach. Think more good food, not less healthy food. Not cycling enough contrast. If your high and low days look nearly identical calorie-wise, less than about 400 to 500 calories difference, you may not create enough metabolic variation to prevent adaptation. Review your intake to ensure you're creating meaningful contrast between days. Inconsistent protein intake. While carbs and fats will fluctuate between high and low days, protein should remain relatively consistent to support muscle maintenance. Many women make the mistake of underconsuming protein on both high and low days, which can accelerate age-related muscle loss. Inappropriate cycle timing. Choosing a cycle that conflicts with your lifestyle often leads to abandoning the approach entirely. Be realistic about your social calendar, family meals, and work schedule when selecting your pattern. It's better to adjust your cycle to fit your life than to try forcing your life to fit a theoretically perfect cycle. One of the greatest strengths of metabolic confusion is its forgiveness. If you make a mistake or have an off day, simply return to your pattern with the next meal. This flexibility makes it significantly more sustainable than rigid approaches that fall apart at the first deviation. Overcoming common diet challenges. Even the most thoughtfully designed nutritional approach will face real-world challenges. Having specific strategies for these common hurdles is often what separates lasting success from another abandoned attempt. Beating sugar cravings and emotional eating. Does menopause seem to have intensified your sugar cravings? You're not alone. Sugar cravings often intensify after menopause due to hormonal fluctuations, stress, and changes in brain chemistry. For immediate relief, try drinking water with lemon, having a protein-rich snack, taking a short walk, or brushing with mint toothpaste. Long-term, focus on protein at each meal, include healthy fats, prioritize sleep, and practice stress management. Remember that occasional cravings are normal. Having effective strategies to manage them is what matters. Managing social situations and eating out. Social dining shouldn't cause anxiety. When eating out, review menus beforehand. Don't arrive starving, start with soup or salad, request dressings on the side, and choose simple preparations. For family gatherings, bring a compatible dish, fill half your plate with vegetables, focus on the social experience, and align special occasions with higher calorie days when possible. The flexibility of metabolic confusion works particularly well for social situations, allowing you to plan higher calorie days strategically, breaking through age-related weight loss plateaus. Plateaus are normal after 50 and often signal that your body is recalibrating. If progress stalls after 3 to 4 consistent weeks, try increasing the contrast between high and low days, experimenting with a different cycling pattern, or tracking food intake more carefully. Consider adjusting your macros, more protein, fewer processed carbs, and adding strategic movement like resistance training or increased walking. Don't overlook sleep quality, stress management, or medications that might affect metabolism. Approach plateaus with curiosity rather than frustration, staying consistent. When life gets busy. Women over 50 often juggle numerous responsibilities that challenge consistent healthy eating. Simplify your weight management by developing a rotating menu of reliable meals using a template approach, protein plus vegetable plus fat, and keeping pre-portioned options ready. Streamline shopping with a master grocery list and consider delivery services. Incorporate quality convenience foods, batch cook versatile components, and use time-saving tools. Remember that consistency doesn't require perfection. Making good choices most of the time while allowing flexibility during hectic periods supports lasting success. Dealing with stress-related eating. Stress particularly affects women over 50, increasing cortisol levels that drive cravings and abdominal fat storage. Before stress eating, pause to take deep breaths, question whether you're truly hungry, and have quick non-food stress relievers ready. Keep healthy snacks available for genuine hunger. Build stress resilience through regular mind-body practices, adequate sleep, and appropriate boundaries. These approaches complement metabolic confusion by helping regulate the hormones that impact both appetite and fat storage. Practical meal preparation. The bridge between understanding nutrition principles and successfully implementing them in your daily life is practical meal preparation. Even the most scientifically sound approach won't work if it's too complicated to maintain in your real life. Essential tools for efficient meal prep. The right kitchen tools can significantly simplify healthy eating. You don't need a kitchen full of gadgets, just a few strategic items that support your metabolic confusion approach. Programmable slow cooker. Prepare protein-rich meals while you're away and come home to a ready dinner that supports your high or low-calorie day goals. Food scale. Takes the guesswork out of portion sizes, particularly helpful when you're learning appropriate portions for high versus low days. Quality storage containers. Glass containers in various sizes allow you to batch cook and store portions appropriately for different calorie days. Blender creates quick protein-rich smoothies, sauces, and soups that can be adjusted for your high or low-calorie needs. Sharp chef's knife makes vegetable preparation faster and more enjoyable, encouraging more produce consumption. Silicone baking mats allow for easy low-fat cooking without added oils or complicated cleanup. These modest investments pay dividends in time saved and consistency maintained, making your metabolic confusion approach significantly easier to sustain over the long term. Batch cooking basics for busy women. Strategic batch cooking, preparing components or full meals in advance, can transform your ability to stay consistent with metabolic confusion even during hectic weeks. The key is batch cooking flexible components rather than complete meals, allowing you to adjust portions and combinations for your high and low days. Proteins. Cook 2 to 3 protein options weekly, like roasted chicken, turkey meatballs, or baked fish, that can be portioned appropriately for different calorie days. Complex carbohydrates. Prepare larger batches of quinoa, brown rice, or roasted sweet potatoes that can be added in varying amounts depending on whether it's a high or low day. Vegetables. Roast or steam. A variety of vegetables that can be quickly reheated or added to salads. Healthy fat components. Pre-portioned nuts, seeds, and avocado to easily adjust fat intake between days. Here's what a simple Sunday prep session might look like. 1. Roast a whole chicken and prepare a batch of turkey meatballs, proteins. 2. Cook a pot of quinoa and roast sweet potatoes, complex carbs. 3. Steam broccoli and roast a tray of mixed vegetables, vegetables. 4. Make a versatile dressing or sauce that works with multiple meals. 5. Portion nuts and seeds into small containers for grab-and-go healthy fats. This 60 to 90-minute investment can set you up for 3 to 4 days of meals that are easily adjusted for your high and low-calorie days, dramatically reducing decision fatigue and time pressure during the week. Chapter 11, Your 60-Day Body Transformation Plan. At last, we've arrived at the moment you've been waiting for, transforming all those metabolic confusion principles into a concrete action plan tailored specifically for you. This isn't just another collection of diet rules or a short-term fix. It's a comprehensive blueprint designed specifically for your endomorph body after 50. What makes this plan different? Unlike typical diets that work temporarily but ultimately lead to frustrating rebound weight gain, this approach works with your body's natural processes. The result? Not only do you lose weight more effectively, but you actually have a fighting chance of maintaining those results long term. In the pages that follow, you'll find everything you need to succeed. Ready-made meal plans you can follow immediately, personalized calorie calculations if you prefer to customize, gentle movement guidelines designed for women our age, simple progress tracking methods, and ultimately, strategies to transition into a sustainable maintenance approach. Many women tell me that after decades of diet disappointments, they've become hesitant to hope. I understand that hesitation, but I also know that by following this blueprint, you're giving yourself the best possible foundation for lasting success. Your 60-day transformation journey starts now. Shall we begin? Ready-made meal plans, the simple way to start. Have you ever felt overwhelmed just by looking at a new diet plan? All those calculations, food restrictions, and complicated rules can make even the most dedicated woman feel defeated before she's even begun. That's especially true for those of us who've tried multiple approaches over the years, only to face disappointment. I've designed these meal plans with simplicity in mind. They're specifically formulated for women over 50 with endomorph body types, taking into account our unique nutritional needs and metabolic tendencies. Instead of spending hours figuring out what to eat, you can simply follow these plans and focus your energy on seeing results. 2 ways to use these meal plans. Option 1. Follow as written and adjust based on results. This is the simplest approach to get started. The meal plans are already calibrated with appropriate calorie levels for most women over 50 with endomorph body types. All you need to do is follow the plan as written. For the first 1 to 2 weeks, follow the meal plan exactly while tracking your measurements, weight, waist, hips, etc., as described in the logbook section. This initial tracking period is crucial. It tells you whether the preset calorie levels are right for your unique metabolism. If you're seeing the scale move downward, even slightly, and noticing positive changes in how your clothes fit, you're on the right track. Continue following the plan as written. However, if your weight remains unchanged or increases after 2 consistent weeks, you'll need to make adjustments. Don't worry, I'll guide you through exactly how to do this in the When to Make Adjustments to Your Plan section. Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about finding the approach that works with your unique body. Option 2. Personalize calories first. Instructions below. If you prefer a more customized approach from the beginning, you can calculate your specific calorie needs before starting the meal plans. Knowing your personal calorie targets gives you maximum flexibility and control. With personalized calorie knowledge, you can select your favorite recipes from the book to create a completely personalized meal. Plan use calorie tracking apps to incorporate foods beyond what's in this book. Create your own meals using your preferred protein, fat and carb sources. You'll find a comprehensive list of macro sources ideal for metabolic confusion at the back of the book. This option puts you in complete control of your food choices while still following the metabolic confusion principles. Many women find this flexibility makes the approach much easier to maintain long-term because it adapts to their preferences and lifestyle rather than forcing rigid rules. Personalizing your calorie approach. As I mentioned earlier in option 2, personalization can be a powerful tool in your weight loss journey. Have you ever wondered why some approaches that work wonderfully for others seem to fail for you? That's because your metabolic needs are as unique as your fingerprint. Let me give you an example. Diane and Susan are both 55, stand at 5 feet 4 inches, and weigh 175 pounds. On paper, they look identical, but in reality, Diane might need 1,700 calories to maintain her weight, while Susan needs only 1,400. Why? Different muscle composition, activity levels, hormonal balances, and metabolic histories create entirely different caloric needs. This is why calculating your personal starting point is so valuable, though I should note that any calculator provides only an estimate. Your body will ultimately tell you through results whether those numbers need adjustment. Let's find your personal starting point. Understanding your metabolic needs. Calculating your metabolic needs is a 2-step process that gives you a personalized starting point for your transformation plan. Step 1. Calculate your basal metabolic rate, BMR, for your age. Your BMR represents the calories your body needs just to perform basic functions like breathing, circulating blood, and maintaining cell health, even if you were to stay in bed all day. For women over 50, we'll use the Mifflin-Sake-Gior equation, which is more accurate for our age group. BMR equals 10 times weight in kilograms plus 6.25 times height in centimeters minus 5 times age in years minus 161. Let's calculate this for Linda, age 57, who weighs 180 pounds, 81.6 kilograms, and is 5 feet 5 inches, 165 centimeters, tall. BMR equals 10 times 81.6 plus 6.25 times 165 minus 5 times 57 minus 161. BMR equals 816 plus 1031.25 minus 285. 161 BMR equals 1,401.25 calories. This means Linda's body needs approximately 1,401 calories daily just for basic functions. If you prefer to avoid doing the math, you can find reliable BMR calculators online at websites like calculator.net or tdealculator.net. Step 2. Apply your activity multiplier. To find your total daily energy expenditure, TDEE, we multiply your BMR by an activity factor. Be honest with yourself here. Many of us overestimate our activity levels. Sedentary, little or no exercise, BMR times 1.2. Lightly active, light exercise 1 to 3 days a week, BMR times 1.375. Moderately active, moderate exercise 3 to 5 days a week, BMR times 1.55. Very active, hard exercise 6 or more days a week, BMR times 1.85, exercise 6 to 7 days a week, BMR times 1.72, 5 extremely active, very hard exercise and physical job, BMR times 1.9. Continuing with our example, if Linda is lightly active, walking a few times a week, her calculation would be TDEE equals 1,400, 1.25, times 1.37, 5 equals 1,926.72 calories. This means Linda needs about 1,927 calories daily to maintain her current weight with her current activity level. Remember to assess your activity level realistically. Many of us consider ourselves more active than we actually are, which can lead to overestimating calorie needs. Setting your calorie target. Now that we know your maintenance calories, we can calculate appropriate targets for both high and low-calorie days in our metabolic confusion approach. Calculating your low-day calories. For moderate, sustainable weight loss, we'll create a calorie deficit on your low days. For most women over 50 with endomorph body types, a 25 to 30% reduction from maintenance works well. Using Linda's example, low-day calories equals 1,927 times 0.7 equals 1,349 calories. It's important to never go below 1,200 calories even if your calculation suggests a lower number. Extremely low calorie levels can trigger excessive metabolic slowdown, nutritional deficiencies, and muscle loss, all counterproductive to your goals. The ideal low-day calorie level creates a moderate deficit that's sustainable and doesn't trigger excessive hunger or fatigue. You should feel satisfied, not starving. Calculating your high-day calories. High days are crucial for metabolic health, particularly for women over 50. They help prevent metabolic adaptation, support hormone function, and make this approach sustainable long-term. For high days, we want to aim close to maintenance level. High day calories equals maintenance calories times 0.9 to 1.0. For Linda, high day calories equals 1,927 times 0.95 equals 1,831 calories. These high days aren't cheat days, they're strategically higher calorie days composed of nutritious foods that support your hormonal health and metabolism. The difference between your low and high days should be at least 400 to 500 calories to create the metabolic variation that prevents adaptation. Personalizing your cycle pattern. While calculating your calories is important, determining the right cycling pattern is equally crucial. This pattern should fit your lifestyle preferences and unique metabolism. Consider these common patterns. 2-to-1 approach, 2 low-calorie days, followed by 1 high-calorie day. Weekday-weekend split, low-calorie weekdays with higher-calorie weekends. 5-to-2 method, 5 low-calorie days with 2 high-calorie days per week. Which pattern sounds most compatible with your life? If you have regular social commitments on weekends, the weekday-weekend split might work best. If you need more frequent energy boosts, the 2-to-1 approach could be ideal. The pattern that fits your lifestyle is the one you'll maintain consistently, and consistency is what ultimately brings results. Movement for women over 50. While nutrition is the primary driver of weight loss, movement plays several crucial roles in your transformation, especially after 50. But let's be clear, we're not talking about punishing exercise regimens or spending hours at the gym. The right kind of movement at our age is about so much more than burning calories. It's about maintaining the strength, flexibility, and balance that support an independent, vibrant life. It's about protecting your bone density, managing stress, and improving your mood. And yes, it also enhances your metabolic health in ways that complement your nutritional approach perfectly. Why some movement is essential for women over 50. Regular, appropriate movement offers specific benefits that become increasingly important after 50. As we've discussed earlier, women naturally lose muscle mass after menopause, a process that directly impacts metabolism, strength, and daily function. Regular movement, particularly strength-based activities, helps preserve this precious tissue. Movement also plays a crucial role in maintaining bone density, particularly important as estrogen levels decline. Weight-bearing and resistance activities signal your bones to maintain or increase their strength, helping to protect them against osteoporosis. From a metabolic perspective, regular movement improves insulin sensitivity, allowing your body to manage blood sugar more effectively. This directly impacts fat storage, especially around the midsection, where postmenopausal women tend to gain weight. Perhaps most immediately noticeable are the mood and stress management benefits. Movement triggers the release of endorphins, natural mood elevators that can help manage the emotional fluctuations many women experience during and after menopause. The good news? You don't need intense workouts to access these benefits. Gentle, consistent movement designed specifically for your needs can be remarkably effective. Pro tip: mind your spontaneous physical activity. Have you ever noticed that on days when you're watching your calories, you might find yourself moving less without even realizing it? This phenomenon, called spontaneous physical activity, SPA, is your body's natural energy conservation mechanism during calorie restriction. SPA includes all those small movements you make throughout the day that aren't formal exercise: walking around your home, fidgeting while reading, gesturing when you talk, or even simply changing positions while sitting. These seemingly insignificant movements can account for hundreds of calories burned daily. When you reduce calories, your body might unconsciously reduce these spontaneous movements to conserve energy, a survival mechanism that can slow your progress. What feels like a slower metabolism might actually be your body moving less throughout the day. Pay attention to your daily activity patterns during your transformation journey. Are you taking fewer steps around the house? Choosing the closest parking spot when you used to walk farther? Sitting more and standing less? These subtle changes can significantly impact your results. Make a conscious effort to maintain or even increase your daily movement beyond planned exercise. Take the stairs, park farther away, stand while talking on the phone, or take brief movement breaks when watching television. These small choices help counteract your body's natural energy conservation response and support your transformation goals. Simple exercise programs. These programs are specifically designed for women over 50 with a focus on gentleness, effectiveness, and adaptability to different fitness levels. I recommend searching these exercises on YouTube to see proper form demonstrations rather than relying solely on written descriptions. Watching someone perform the movements correctly is much more effective than static images or text descriptions, which can sometimes lead to improper form and potential injury. Program 1: 15-minute chair strength and flexibility routine. This gentle routine can be performed entirely seated, making it perfect for beginners or those with mobility limitations. Chair yoga and seated strength exercises have shown remarkable benefits for women over 50, including improved flexibility, better circulation, reduced joint pain, and enhanced mood, all without putting stress on vulnerable joints. Start with 3 sessions per week, allowing your body time to recover between sessions. Seated arm circles: 10 forward, 10 backward, 2 sets. Extend arms to sides and make small controlled circles. Chair marches: 20 total, 2 sets, alternate lifting knees toward chest while seated. Seated overhead: press, 10 to 12 repetitions, 2 sets, press arms overhead from shoulder height. Seated leg extensions: 10 to 12 each leg, 2 sets, straighten one leg at a time, hold. Briefly, lower. Seated torso: twists, 10 each side, 2 sets. Place hands on chest and rotate torso, gently. Take your time with each movement, focusing on quality rather than speed. If you find you enjoy this type of movement, consider exploring chair yoga, specifically designed for seniors, which offers additional benefits for balance, stress reduction, and overall well-being. Program 2. Walking for Wellness. Walking is perhaps the most accessible and beneficial exercise for women over 50. Research shows regular walking improves heart health, helps maintain bone density, boosts mood, and supports weight management, all with minimal impact on joints. If you're just beginning, start small. Begin with just 10 minutes of walking, 3 times per week. Walk at a comfortable pace where you can still hold a conversation. Focus on good posture and comfortable shoes. Consider walking with a friend for added enjoyment and accountability. As your comfort and confidence grow, gradually increase duration before increasing speed. Add 5 minutes to your walks every 1 to 2 weeks. Aim eventually for 20 to 30 minutes, 4 to 5 times weekly. Incorporate different routes to keep things interesting. Remember, consistency matters more than intensity. A 15-minute walk that you enjoy and look forward to brings far more benefits than an occasional longer walk that feels like a chore. Weekly movement targets. Finding the right amount of movement for your current fitness level is important. Here are realistic targets based on where you're starting. For beginners, little recent activity, 2 to 3 days of structured movement weekly, 10 to 15 minutes per session, focus on chair exercises and short walking. Gradually work up to 3 consistent days weekly. For intermediate, somewhat active, 3 to 4 days of structured movement weekly, 15 to 25 minutes per session, balance between walking and gentle strength exercises. Gradually work up to longer duration before adding more days. For advanced, regularly active, 4 to 5 days of structured movement weekly, 25 to 40 minutes per session. Varied routine, including walking, strength, balance, and flexibility. Focus on consistency rather than increasing intensity. Remember, consistency matters more than intensity. A gentle 15-minute routine 3 times weekly yields better results than an occasional intense workout that leaves you exhausted or sore. Health considerations and when to consult your doctor. While movement is beneficial, safety comes first. Consider speaking with your healthcare provider before beginning any exercise program if you have heart disease or high blood pressure, joint replacements or significant arthritis, osteoporosis or recent fractures, dizziness or balance problems, uncontrolled diabetes or other chronic conditions. Watch for these warning signs during activity. Chest pain or pressure, significant shortness of breath that doesn't improve with rest, dizziness or lightheadedness, sharp or severe joint pain, unusual fatigue that persists after exercise. If you have arthritis, focus on a gentle range of motion exercises, water-based activities, and avoid high-impact movements. With osteoporosis, weight-bearing activities are beneficial, but avoid movements that involve bending forward from the waist or twisting forcefully. Remember, the goal is to find movement that enhances your life and supports your transformation, not creates additional stress or discomfort. Tracking your transformation. Consistent tracking is one of the most powerful tools in your transformation toolkit. But I want to be clear, tracking isn't about obsessing over numbers or judging yourself. It's about gathering information that empowers you to make informed decisions about your approach. Think of tracking as feedback, not judgment. It's like checking your map during a journey to ensure you're still heading in the right direction. Using your progress log effectively. Your progress log serves as a personal dashboard for your transformation journey. For most reliable results, I recommend tracking your weight and measurements 3 to 4 times per week, rather than daily. Our bodies naturally fluctuate from day to day due to water retention, hormonal cycles, and other factors that have nothing to do with weight loss. When tracking weight, weigh yourself first thing in the morning, after using the bathroom, and before eating or drinking. Wear similar clothing, or none, each time for consistency. Record these measurements in your log, then calculate your weekly average by adding all measurements and dividing by the number of times you weighed in. For body measurements, use a flexible measuring tape and measure at the same locations each time. Key areas to track include your waist, narrowest point, lower abdomen, around your navel, hips, widest point, and perhaps thighs or upper arms if these are areas of concern. The Diet Changes This Week section of your log is particularly valuable. Use this space to document any adjustments you've made to your calorie levels, macronutrient balance, or cycling pattern. This creates a record of what works for your unique body and what doesn't, information that becomes increasingly valuable over time. Remember, the log is a tool for awareness, not a source of stress. It helps you identify patterns and make adjustments based on real data rather than assumptions. When to make adjustments to your plan. Understanding when and how to adjust your approach is critical for continued progress. Here are specific scenarios that indicate adjustments may be needed. If you've had no change in weight or measurements for 2 consecutive weeks, despite following the plan consistently, it's time to reduce calories slightly. Try decreasing your low days by 100 calories while maintaining your high days at their current level. This creates a larger calorie deficit without triggering significant metabolic adaptation. If you're already at 1,200 calories on your low days, our recommended minimum, consider adjusting your cycling pattern instead, perhaps adding 1 more low-calorie day to your weekly cycle rather than reducing calories further. If you're constantly hungry, experience low energy, or have trouble sleeping, your calories may be too low. Try increasing your low days by 100 calories while maintaining your high days. Sometimes eating slightly more actually improves results by supporting better hormone function and activity levels. If you're losing weight too quickly, more than 2 pounds per week after the first 2 weeks, consider increasing calories slightly. Rapid weight loss often leads to muscle loss and significant metabolic slowdown, which can make maintenance more difficult later. If you're experiencing significant cravings or find yourself overeating on high days, try adjusting your macronutrient balance rather than your total calories. Often increasing protein by 5 to 10%, while slightly reducing carbohydrates can improve satiety without changing your calorie level. Remember, making adjustments is a normal, expected part of the process, not a sign of failure. Your body is unique and will communicate what it needs if you listen and respond. Customizing your meal plan. As you gain experience with metabolic confusion, you may want to customize your approach further to optimize results and sustainability. These customization methods give you the power to fine-tune your plan based on your preferences and your body's feedback. Method 1. Adjusting portion sizes. This straightforward method allows you to reduce calories while maintaining the nutritional balance of your meals. If you need to reduce your meal plan by a certain percentage, simply adjust all ingredients proportionally. For example, if you need to reduce your meal plan by 10%, multiply each ingredient amount by 0.9. If a recipe calls for 5 ounces of chicken, you would use 4.5 ounces instead. For 1 cup of rice, you'd use a little less than 3/4 cup. Another simple approach is to adjust the number of servings in your meal plan. Notice how the sample meal plans indicate specific serving amounts like spinach and feta egg white muffins, 2 servings, or Cucumber dill Greek yogurt bites, 3 servings. If you need to reduce your calorie intake slightly, try decreasing these serving amounts. For instance, reducing from 3 servings to 2 servings of a snack, or from 2 servings to 1 serving of a main dish can create a meaningful calorie reduction while still providing satisfying portions and maintaining nutritional balance. This method works well when you need modest adjustments without completely changing your meal plan. Method 2. Strategic meal swapping. This approach involves replacing higher calorie meals in your plan with lower calorie alternatives from elsewhere in the cookbook. Look for meals with similar macronutrient profiles but lower overall calories. For example, if your dinner is 500 calories but you need to reduce your daily intake, swap it for a 400-calorie dinner option to create a 100-calorie daily deficit. Ensure your replacement meals still contain adequate protein to support muscle maintenance. This method gives you flexibility while maintaining the overall structure of your meal plan, making it ideal when you want variety without complex calculations. Method 3. Adding another low-calorie day. If you've been following a specific cycle pattern but find your progress has slowed, consider adding one more low-calorie day to your weekly cycle. This approach works best when you're feeling good on your current low days, not excessively hungry or fatigued. Your progress has slowed but not stopped completely. You've been consistent with your current pattern for at least 3 to 4 weeks. For example, if you've been following a 2-to-1 pattern, 2 low days, 1 high day, you might try a 3-to-1 pattern instead. If you're using a weekend split with 5 low days and 2 high days, you might reduce it to just 1 high day. Watch for signs that this adjustment is too aggressive, such as increased hunger, fatigue, disrupted sleep, or irritability. If these occur, return to your previous pattern and consider a different adjustment method. Transition to maintenance. Reaching your target weight is a significant achievement that deserves celebration. The transition to maintenance is a gradual process of finding your body's true balance point. Begin by increasing both your low and high days by approximately 100 to 200 calories. Monitor your weight for 2 weeks at this new level. If your weight remains stable, you can increase by another 100 to 200 calories and observe for another 2 weeks. Continue this gradual process until you find the level where your weight maintains consistently. Even in maintenance, continuing a modified cycling pattern helps prevent weight regain. Many women find success with smaller differentials between high and low days, perhaps eating at maintenance most days, with slightly higher calories on weekends or special occasions. The habits and knowledge you've gained throughout this process, listening to your body's signals, adjusting based on results, balancing nutrition, are lifelong tools that will serve you well beyond just weight management. You've developed a sustainable relationship with food and a deeper understanding of your unique body that will support your health for years to come. Conclusion? As we reach the end of our journey together, I hope you're feeling a sense of renewed possibility about your body and health after 50. Isn't it remarkable to discover that what you've been experiencing has biological causes and, more importantly, practical solutions? The path to transformation is rarely a straight line, especially at this stage of life. There will be weeks when the scale moves exactly as you hoped, and others when progress seems frustratingly slow. Both are normal parts of the process. Many women find that the non-scale victories become even more meaningful than the numbers on the scale. Sleeping better, having more stable energy throughout the day, feeling stronger during everyday activities, and rediscovering confidence in their bodies. These improvements in quality of life matter tremendously. Remember that the metabolic confusion approach isn't just another temporary diet. It's a sustainable way of working with your body's natural tendencies rather than fighting against them. By alternating between higher and lower calorie days, you're teaching your metabolism to remain responsive instead of slowing down, a crucial difference from traditional dieting approaches that so often fail women our age. Be patient with yourself as you implement these changes. Small, consistent steps forward will always surpass perfect plans that can't be maintained. Your body has wisdom and resilience built into it. Sometimes it just needs the right environment to express these qualities. You deserve to move through this chapter of your life with energy, strength, and vitality. You deserve to feel at home in your body again. The strategies in this book provide the practical framework, but the real transformation happens through your daily choices and commitment to your well-being. I truly believe that your best years are ahead of you, not because you'll look exactly as you did at 30, none of us do, but because you can feel better, stronger, and more vibrant than you have in years. Here's to your health, your vitality, and your journey forward. With warmth and support, Emma Brooks. Metabolic Confusion Supplement Guide. As we navigate health after 50, supplements can provide valuable support, though they're never mandatory. Think of supplements as helpful assistants, not replacements for good nutrition. The right ones can address common nutritional gaps and support your metabolic confusion journey, especially during this hormonally complex stage of life. Here are the most beneficial supplements for endomorph women over 50. Magnesium. This mineral becomes increasingly important as we age. Many women experience magnesium deficiency without realizing it, which can affect everything from sleep quality to muscle function. Magnesium supports better insulin sensitivity, crucial for endomorphs, improved sleep quality, reduced muscle cramps and tension, balanced stress response. Look for magnesium glycinate or citrate forms, which tend to be better absorbed and gentler on digestion. Typical dosage, 200 to 400 milligrams daily, preferably with dinner. Vitamin D3 with K2. Often called the sunshine vitamin, vitamin D becomes harder to synthesize from sunlight as we age. When paired with vitamin K2, it offers enhanced benefits for metabolism and bone health. This combination supports improved calcium utilization, enhanced hormone balance, better immune function, mood stabilization during hormonal fluctuations. Look for D3, more bioavailable than D2, combined with K2. Typical dosage, 1,000 to 5,000 IU of D3 daily, with 90 to 120 micrograms of K2, ideally taken with a fat-containing meal. Omega-3 fatty acids. These essential fats help combat the inflammation that often increases after menopause and can interfere with metabolic function. Omega-3 support reduced inflammation, improved insulin sensitivity, enhanced brain function, better joint comfort, healthier skin elasticity. Look for high-quality fish oil or algae-based supplements for vegetarians with at least 1,000 milligrams combined EPA and DHA. Quality matters tremendously with omega-3s, as poor quality supplements can oxidize easily. Berberine. This plant compound has gained attention for its remarkable effects on metabolism, particularly for endomorph body types dealing with insulin resistance. Berberine supports improved insulin sensitivity, reduced blood sugar spikes, enhanced metabolic function, healthier cholesterol levels. Typical dosage, 500 milligrams, 1 to 3 times daily before meals. This supplement may interact with certain medications, so check with your healthcare provider before adding it. B-complex vitamins. As we age, our ability to absorb B vitamins naturally declines, yet these nutrients are crucial for energy production and metabolic function. B-complex vitamins support enhanced energy production, improved stress resilience, better hormone balance, proper nerve function. Look for methylated forms, especially for B12 and folate, for better absorption. Take with breakfast for optimal energy support throughout the day. Adaptogenic herbs. These special plant compounds help your body adapt to stress, which becomes increasingly important after 50 when stress can significantly impact hormone balance and fat storage. Beneficial adaptogens include ashwagandha, supports adrenal health and reduces cortisol. Rhodiola, improves energy and stress resilience. Holy basil, helps balance blood sugar and stress response. These can be taken in supplement form or enjoyed as teas. Remember to consult with your healthcare provider before adding supplements, especially if you take medication or have existing health conditions. Supplements should complement your metabolic confusion nutritional approach, not replace a well-balanced diet rich in whole foods. Create your own plan. Blueprint? Ready to design your own metabolic confusion plan? This section walks you through creating a personalized approach that fits your unique preferences and lifestyle. The beauty of metabolic confusion lies in its flexibility. Once you understand the principles, you can adapt them to work perfectly for you. Step 1. Calculate your calorie needs. First, determine your personal calorie targets for both high and low days. Remember Chapter 11's calculations. You can either follow the step-by-step formula provided there or use an online calculator to simplify the process. Both approaches will help estimate your maintenance calories based on age, be sure to specify 50 plus, current weight, height, activity level, be honest, many of us overestimate this. Once you have your maintenance calories, low days, calculate 70 to 75% of your maintenance calories, never go below 1200 calories. High days, calculate 90 to 100% of your maintenance calories. For example, if your maintenance calories are 2000, low days, 1400 to 1500 calories, high days, 1800 to 2000 calories. Step 2. Choose your cycling pattern. Select the pattern that best fits your lifestyle and preferences. 2-to-1 pattern, 2 low-calorie days followed by 1 high-calorie day. Works well if you need frequent energy boosts. Example, low days, Monday, Tuesday, high day, Wednesday, repeat. Weekday, weekend pattern, low-calorie weekdays, high-calorie weekends. Perfect if you typically socialize on weekends. Example, low days, Monday, Friday, high days, Saturday, Sunday. 5-to-2 pattern, 5 low-calorie days, 2 high-calorie days. Good for those who prefer consistency with planned breaks. Example, low days, Monday, Friday, high days, Saturday, Sunday. Step 3. Build your daily menu. Now, craft satisfying meals using the food list we covered earlier. Aim for low days, 30 to 35% protein, approximately 105 to 131 grams for a 1,400 calorie day. 30 to 35% carbohydrates, primarily non-starchy vegetables. 30 to 35% healthy fats. High days, 25 to 30% protein, approximately 113 to 150 grams for a 1,800 calorie day. 40 to 45% carbohydrates, including more starchy options. 25 to 30% healthy fats. A simple approach. Create meal templates. Low day sample. Template, breakfast, protein, egg whites, Greek yogurt, plus small serving of fruit. Class, healthy fat. Lunch, lean protein. Unlimited non-starchy vegetables. Measured fat source. Dinner, lean protein. non-starchy vegetables, a small portion of complex carbs. Snack, protein-based option with measured fat. For example, a low-day breakfast might look like 1 cup Greek yogurt, 0% fat, from the protein list, 1/2 cup mixed berries from the carbohydrate list, 1 tablespoon chia seeds from the fat list. This simple combination provides protein, fiber, healthy fats, and essential nutrients while keeping calories moderate. High day sample template. Breakfast, protein plus fruit plus complex carb plus healthy fat. Lunch, protein plus vegetables plus larger portion of complex carbs plus healthy fat. Dinner, protein plus vegetables plus generous complex carb portion plus healthy fat. Snacks, more flexibility with portions and food choices. Step 4, track and adjust. Once you've created your plan, implement it for 2 weeks while tracking your progress. The weight loss progress tracker at the back of this book provides an excellent framework for monitoring. Weight, average weekly, not daily fluctuations. Measurements, especially waist. If you're seeing positive changes, continue with your current approach. If not, make small adjustments as detailed in Chapter 11's When to Make Adjustments to Your Plan section. Remember those specific strategies for slightly reducing calories on low days, adjusting your cycling pattern, modifying macronutrient ratios. Remember, this approach is meant to work for you, not the other way around. The plan that feels sustainable and enjoyable is the one that will bring lasting results. As you create your personalized plan, trust your body's feedback. The numbers provide a starting point, but your energy, satisfaction, and results will guide refinements. Many women find their ideal approach evolves over time as they become more attuned to their body's signals and responses. The freedom to customize is what makes metabolic confusion such a powerful approach for women over 50. It adapts to your life, preferences, and unique metabolic needs.